on. I think you'll agree with me. I have the most beautiful voice in radio, don't I, Mr. Producer? There's no better. I want to talk briefly to my Jewish friends. You Gentiles certainly are free to listen in. But I want to talk to you specifically, being Jewish myself. I'm looking at a Fox News piece by Joseph Weber, an outspoken critic of Israel who once said the Jewish state should be added to the list of 9/11 terror suspects, was recently selected by the Obama administration to participate in an international forum on human rights, sparking outcry from watchdog groups. I've long said, and I will repeat it here, underscore it, and put an exclamation mark behind it, Obama hates Israel. The participant, Muslim Public Affairs Council founder, Salam al-Mariyati, and, sir, if I mispronounced your name, screw you, I could care less, was tapped to be part of the U.S. delegation to the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe Forum in Poland. Now, the State Department defended the selection, as you knew it would. Christopher Madura, a spokesman with the U.S. mission to the OSCE, said, Mr. al-Mariyati has been involved in U.S. government initiatives for almost 10 years and has been a valued and highly credible interlocutor on issues affecting Muslim communities. He was invited to participate in this year's event as a reflection of the wide diversity of backgrounds of the American people, unquote. This is State Department speak. They're full of crap, of course. Yet others argue selecting al-Mariyati was the wrong decision, with implications that stretch far beyond his presence at the 10-day forum. I think it was a terrible idea, said Frank Gaffney, founder of the Washington-based Center for Security Policy. It's not just an isolated incident. The investigative project on terrorism also recently completed a one-year study that concluded known radical Islamists made hundreds of visits to the Obama White House. This is in Fox News, their website. Among the visitors was al-Mariyati, whom the logs show has visited the White House at least 7 times. Al-Mariyati, who rejects the radical label, has been a sharp critic of how Israel and the United States act and interact. Oh, much like the president. Quote, the United States has done a lot of dirty work that has served the interests of Israel. Al-Mariyati said in January, it destroyed Iraq, it supported the destruction and crippling of Egypt, it has crippled the Gulf, and now it is looking to Iran as the next target for crippling and destroying. Who's driving our foreign policy? President Obama or Prime Minister Netanyahu? See, this is your typical anti-Semitic Jew-hating propaganda. That the Jews control Obama, see. The Jews control American foreign policy. Who is this little syphilitic rash? Who is this guy? Salam al-Mariyati. That's right, pal. I called you that. What are you going to do about it? 2 years earlier, after authorities disrupted a plot to bomb synagogues and fire missiles at U.S. military aircraft, al-Mariyati told Fox News the defendants were either, quote, petty criminals or gullible people who were guilty of stupidity. They were not imminent threats, unquote. The 4 men in the plot were convicted and sentenced to 25-year prison terms. I don't know, maybe this guy could be like a judge in New Jersey. Don't pass his name on to Christie. Perhaps most controversial was al-Mariyati's comments about the 2001 terror attacks. On the day of the September 11, 2001 terror attacks, al-Mariyati said on a Los Angeles radio show, quote, if we're going to look at suspects, we should look to the groups that benefit the most from these kinds of incidents, and I think we should put the state of Israel on the suspect list because I think this diverts attention from what's happening in the Palestinian territories so that they can go on with their aggression and occupation and apartheid policies, unquote. Al-Mariyati, this guy's visited the White House 7 times and was tapped by the Obama administration to participate in an international forum on human rights. Maybe the problem with Obama is he doesn't have enough briefing books. He doesn't have enough binders to go through to vet the people that he hangs out with, that he appoints to high positions to represent you and me in these international forums. Maybe Obama needs a few more binders to go through. What do you think, folks? Now, al-Mariyati, though, said Tuesday his public record speaks for itself, and those who suggest he's anti-Israel, quote, should stop the lies about Muslims like me who who are working with the Jewish community for the betterment of society, unquote. Are there other Muslims like you, sir? What are their names? You little creep. I'm proud of my commitment to serve the United States of America, to help defend the ideals of human rights and democracy, he said. In terms of the Middle East, my organization supports a two-state solution. Who cares about you and your crummy little organization, you jerk? Oh, yes, and your usuals, defending the guy. And it goes on. We will link to this story, as we do all stories I use on this program, with attribution after the show. MarkLevinShow.com, the greatest website in radio, the greatest website in the Western Hemisphere. Matter of fact, the greatest website in Western civilization, I would say. But then again, I'm biased.